hey, another one come in from Keith Waters. I love this. Who is Cain's father? He's not listed in Adam's genealogy. And you are right to some degree there, Keith, but kind of not in another way. So let me explain for a moment. I think you're going to Genesis chapter 5 when it deals with Adam's descendants. And the book of Genesis is sometimes referred to as being the book of generations. And so you have this, and so this is the book of the generations of Adam, in the day that God created man in the likeness of God made he him. Now we're in Genesis 5, verse 2. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam. In the day when they were created, Adam lived 130 years, begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all that days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years and begat Enos. And Seth lived after he begat Enos 807 years. Realize Genesis 5 does not list for us every descendant. Notice it says had sons and daughters. So to understand about Cain, you got to back up and just go to chapter 4. And Adam knew Eve, his wife. Now, knew there is in the sense of a husband knowing his wife in the marriage bed. And we'll just leave it at that. And this process, it says, and she conceived and bare Cain. So who was Cain's father? It was Adam whenever he and Eve knew each other. And so that's where we get that. Now, why was he left out of Genesis chapter 5? Well, the lineage of Genesis chapter 5 is recording for us that lineage that we see of Jesus being the Son of Man. When you go over there to Luke chapter 3, remember it's in that genealogy of Jesus. It goes all the way back to Adam, and it fact checks going to Genesis chapter 5. Anything you want to add to that?
Oh, I was just thinking also, sometimes in genealogies or listings, sometimes people are left out.
Because we don't like them.
Well, because...
my parents only had one child, me.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding, Cassandra. There was another sibling.
But names are left out. And why is that? A lot of times because of some sinful behavior or something like that. I think of, Jacob, his firstborn is Reuben. But Reuben did not wind up with the blessing. Mm-hmm. Judah wound up with the blessing. You got the same thing with Esau and Jacob, himself, that. So sometimes genealogies can indicate displeasure, God's displeasure. I don't know if that's the case here, but.
Well, I would think it is in the outcast, but there is this concept that it's included in the history of Genesis 4, because it's needed to understand this problem of sin and what took place and very early on. In fact, it helps us understand why the lineage goes through Seth rather than Abel, or, well, really rather than Cain. Because, now you want to go back to the idea of disowning and disfellowship? That's what happened to Cain.
Yeah.
Because of the evil that he had within his heart. And so, great question. I appreciate that.